Well, Republicans in the House, speaking of them, have voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. He's the first cabinet member to be impeached since 1876, but Democrats say Republicans missed a crucial part of this process, which is to present actual evidence of wrongdoing. Nancy Cordes has more from the White House. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. You know, we thought that the Democrat-led Senate would just ignore this impeachment by the House, but late last night, the Senate leader Chuck Schumer announced that there would be an impeachment trial in the Senate later this month, not because they think that there's any evidence of wrongdoing, but because they want to highlight how House Republicans have chosen to spend their time in an election year.
The yeas are 214 and the nays are 213. The resolution is adopted.
By the slimmest of margins, House Republicans voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas after narrowly failing last week.
Finally, we've held Alejandro Mayorkas accountable.
According to their articles of impeachment, the high crimes and misdemeanors include a willful and systemic refusal to comply with border law after a record 2.4 million migrants were apprehended at the southern border last fiscal year. In a statement after the vote, President Biden called Mayorkas an honorable public servant and warned history will not look kindly on House Republicans for their blatant act of unconstitutional partisanship.
Many of the shortcomings Republicans complain about are because they won't give him additional legislation to better secure the border.
At the White House Tuesday, Mr. Biden argued the House should be spending its time passing an aid package for Ukraine and Israel that the Senate approved Monday morning.
You're going to stand with Ukraine, you're going to stand with Putin. Will we stand with America or with Trump?
And he leveled harsh criticism at his Republican opponent, Donald Trump.
I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
After Trump appeared to side with Russia this weekend over NATO allies.
Can you imagine a former president of the United States saying that? For God's sake, it's dumb, it's shameful, it's dangerous, it's un-American.
Back to Mayorkas now. There is no chance that he will lose his job because there's virtually no chance he'll be convicted by the Senate, where even some Republicans have warned that this move sets a bad precedent.
All right, Nancy, thank you so much. We're going to pivot over to CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion to find out where we go from here, Nikole. So then this process moves on to the Senate. When will Mayorkas, the impeachment trial before the Senate, when will that begin?
Yeah, well, as Nancy referenced, you know, there were several Senate Democrats that suggested that this trial would potentially be squashed. But as we saw released last night on the part of Senate Democratic leaders, we did learn that it appears the Senate will hold this trial after the senators come back from the President's Day recess. Impeachment managers have been named, so this trial will go forth. But as Nancy also referenced, you know, Leader Schumer has made clear, and he said as much in a statement last night, that he believes that this is a new low for House Republicans, that they failed to show any evidence that merited impeachment, that they failed to show any way that Mayorkas potentially violated the Constitution. So you can expect any potential trial will likely try to highlight what Senate Democrats in particular believe are House Republicans' flaws.
So in the meantime, the Senate actually did get some work done yesterday. They passed a foreign aid bill, a massive foreign aid bill. But then it's got to go to the House. So, you know, just can you give us a sense of what is going to happen to that bill moving forward?
Well, you know, the future of that bill remains unclear, and that is why you saw President Biden come out yesterday with a full-throated appeal to the House to try to move this package forward. As of now, Speaker Johnson does not appear inclined to bring this up anytime soon. He feels that the government funding, as you know, will be facing two deadlines in early March, that deserves the priority for right now. But he is likely to face a lot of questions and pressure to bring this up, particularly on the part of Democrats, who are also strategizing and considering, you know, potential workarounds, including a potential discharge petition as a way to try to get this bill on the floor if Republicans don't move it forward.
All right, Nikole, thank you very much.